Hello everyone, welcome to Trade Breakdown on EU. So this is the second part of the breakdown that I uploaded earlier. So this is basically a continuation of that earlier breakdown, right? Now, the higher time frame thought process for both of these breakdowns, these trades remain the same. The higher time frame thought process is simple. I am looking for this weekly range high to be taken, and that is my higher time frame return on liquidity. And you can see we've been consistently moving higher towards that higher time frame objective, and on the way we've been making higher highs and higher lows, and most importantly we've been breaking above highs and rejecting below lows, which shows that the markets are indeed in a bullish market condition and bullish market structure, and the order flow is extremely bullish. We've also been making new dealing ranges every time, and you can see that every one of these expansion swing and dealing ranges, what price did is price made sure that at first of all retrace back to our discount key level to rebalance the whole range before moving higher, right? This is exactly how price moved over the past few months and past few weeks, right? This is exactly how price moves. Now your best entries are going to be inside the discount region of the bullish dealing range, right? In a bullish market. And similarly, in a bearish dealing range, you would want to look for entries in the premium region, right? Now the entries that I've been sharing with you in these breakdowns are all intraday trades, right? And intraday setups, right? And I know that every one of you has a different style, different taste and appetite, right? And I don't want to force a particular trading style on you, because that's up to you to decide. And you're going to do that by doing a self evaluation and making sure that you've tried out all sorts of trading styles, and you know the ins and outs of your psyche and psychology, and how you can manage different stress scenarios, and how good you can manage it while being at an optimal performance level, right? You're gonna find that out only if you try out every single one of the trading styles, and only then you'll be able to make an informed decision for that, right? If you've just chosen this intraday style because you've seen ICT do it or any other trader do it, or you've watched these trade breakdowns and you've seen me take intraday trades, and you've decided to choose this intraday style based on that, then that's not a proper way to do it, right? The proper method is to try out every style and method, and then see which one suits you the best, which one suits your psyche and psychology the best, because everyone has a different style, right? Everyone has different risk tolerance and stress tolerance. Some of us might be more suitable for intraday trades, and we won't be that good with scalping. Other traders might be good with scalping and might not be good with holding trades for longer, right? And the only way you're gonna find that out is by actually trying it out, right? I myself have tried out every single trading style that they exist. I've tried out swing trading, I've tried out day trading, scalping, intraday trading, everything, right? I've literally tried out everything. Now, by trying out, I don't mean that I've just taken a few trades with them, right? By trying out, I mean that I've traded those styles for months, right? I've traded those styles for months, and I've taken hundreds of trades, and then I evaluated and gauged my performance throughout all of those data, all of those trades, and all of those styles. And then I compared it with each other and saw how I performed with every single one of those styles, right? And then I saw and I concluded that the one that I had the most confidence in, the most suitability in, was intraday trading. And that's why I decided to end up with intraday trading. And now you can see all the trades that I take are based on intraday charts. And it has been treating me fairly good since my last few years of profitability. Now, for some of you, this exact style might suit you as well, right? But for others, they might be a bit more suited for swing trading or even scalping, because they might not be able to hold trades for longer than few hours, right? And for those people, they're gonna find that out once they do a self evaluation and once they get to know themselves. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know how you perform in different scenarios and what is your risk tolerance, if you don't know these things about yourself, then you're not going to be able to find the proper system and style for yourself, right? That's why the profitable traders are different from the average amateurs, right? Because the amateurs think that it's all about technicals and learning new system and models, but the profitable and the consistent and the professional trader knows that it's more about knowing yourself, right? It's you versus you and me versus me, right? I'm my own opponent in this game, right? The only way I'm going to succeed is if I get to know myself and then I fight my demons, right? And I don't let my inner self and my psyche mess up with my performance, my trading performance, and I stay disciplined at all times, and that would lead me to be consistent in my approach and my analysis, my executions, everything, right? And there and that way, in the long term or a long period of track data and a long period of time, I'm going to make sure that I always end up being profitable because I know that I have an edge over the markets, and that edge perpetuate itself in the form of CRT, in the form of me doing all of these analysis in such a logical framework and logical fashion, right? I know that that particular approach and that particular style brings me an edge, and that edge makes shows that over a long period of data, at the end of each month, at the end of each year, I always end up being profitable and bring profits to my pockets, right? That's exactly what trading is about, and the only way I'm going to achieve that is by making sure I know myself, I stay disciplined at all times, and I consistently trade my system without being afraid of executing it or without being greedy and over trading, right? You have to keep a fair balance. You must write these down, right? Now, the things that I'm sharing with you in these trade breakdowns stays the same for all sorts of trading style, right? Doesn't matter whatever or whichever style it is. The things that I'm teaching with you, the frameworks that I'm teaching with you, it can be replicated on any time frame. The only different between two different styles, a trading style, is the difference and their time frames and the difference in the amount of time a candle is formed. For example, for me as an intraday trader, I am more suitable for intraday charts. So my main time frames are the daily, weekly, 4 hour and 15 minute. Right? I'm using the same approach. Now you can replicate the same approach for a different time frame alignment or different time frame selection, right? For example, if you're a swing trader, then you can duplicate the exact same approach for your own time frames and it's going to work the same, right? Because we know that after all, these markets are all fractal, right? The things that I'm teaching you can be replicated on any asset, on any financial markets, and on any time frame. You can even use it on the 1 second chart and it's gonna work, but it's gonna work only if you use it correctly in a logical framework, right? That's what you need to remember. Now, the most important thing, just like I've said hundreds of times before, is building a narrative on the higher time frame and then determining your higher time frame draw liquidity, right? This is the most important and hardest part of your analysis. And once you've mastered the art of higher time frame analysis, the rest is pretty easy and simple stuff, right? You don't have to worry about the lower time frame stuff. That is pretty simple, right? The thing that that you must focus on the most is making sure that your higher time frame analysis is on point and you always know that where the market is going to be headed, so that way you'll always end up being on the right side of the markets, right? Now in CPI, I'll make sure to share with you all styles of trading, right? The different styles of trading with different models and entry setups that each one has, right? I'll share with you all of them so that you could try them out and then decide which one is yours truly and which one suits you the most, right? Now, your entry system or model is pretty simple, right? You must have objective protocols for taking entries and then objective criteria for putting stop loss and targets, right? That's it. You must have simple objective protocols and criteria for how you're gonna take entry, where are you gonna put your stop loss and targets, and that's simple, that's easy, right? And you're gonna make sure that you position yourself towards the higher time frame drawn liquidity. That's it. And then you must combine it with a proper risk management plan and a trade management system, right? And then you're going to use it conjunctively together in a proper framework, and that is going to be your whole trading system. And then the rest is making sure that you consistently follow it with a proper trading routine, and you don't divert yourself from that, right? Now, I can confidently say that it's your first time seeing someone actually using a logical framework, both on the higher time frame, lower time frame, and even including on the entries, right? I'm the only person in the trading community that teaches you in such a logical fashion, right? And you can agree with me on that. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of mentors, including ICT. I've literally watched all of his stuff, right? But he has done uh, but what he has done is that in certain videos, he talks about a particular thing and a particular concept in one way, and then you're gonna watch another video of his, and you're gonna see that he talks about it in a different way, right? And what that does is it really confuses the trader as to what to believe in, right? He's talked about order blocks multiple times, right? Like hundreds of times he's talked about order blocks. But people are still confused as to how to identify or spot an order block or what makes an order block valid, right? People still don't know that even though they watch hundreds of videos of ICT talking about it, right? But that is not the case for you. You do understand what an order block is, right? Right, and you know that because I've released the order block chapter, right, in which I discussed every aspect of it in a logical manner, right? I didn't just talk about it out of thin air or in a subjective manner, right? I talked about it in a manner so that every single one of you understand it. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, if you're an amateur, if you're a professional, if you're an advanced trader, every single one of you is going to understand that video because the way how I've organized it, right? I provided you with strict and fixed objective criteria and protocols that you can use. And not only that, I've showed you for the first time how you can consider an order block valid, right? I've given you the reason why an order block is considered valid, and I've shown you how you can consider an order block valid, right? You have never heard it from someone else, right? That is the first time you ever heard about filling liquidity, purging liquidity, generating liquidity, right? These are the three main aspects that moves the market, and you heard about it for the first time, even though you watch thousands of videos of ICT, right? So there's that. And you can see since CPI, every single one of you haven't had a single problem with finding order blocks and even with the other concept, and you learn it to its full extent, right? I provided a logical and effective framework that fucking works, right? Now, in the same manner, every single concept that I'm going to share with you in CPI is going to be explained and given to you and taught to you in such a manner, in such a logical fashion, right? There's going to be no subjectivity involved, and everything will be made sure to be objective, repetitive, consistent, right? And consistent throughout CPI, right? That's going to be the main aim and goal for CPI for me. And then maybe even at the end some of you might get an opportunity and a chance to have a one-on-one session with me, right? Oh, so I can assure you that uh, while being in CPI and completing CPI, this is going to be one of the best decisions you will ever make, right? And you can already see the fruits reaping for that, right? You can already see them, and it's not stopping anytime soon. We've just only had two levels, right? We've just started level 3, and level 3 I'm going to discuss time in such a manner that your whole perspective is going to change, right? Okay, that was enough for that. Now getting back to the charts, here you can see that I had already determined my drawn liquidity to be higher, and on Tuesday we closed right below the weekly range high, right? So even when the Wednesday's candle opened, I still decided to look for longs because my higher time frame dollar liquidity was higher, right? And then that was my like higher time frame thought process. You've already seen the other aspects of it in the breakdown that I uploaded earlier. Now let's go to the 4 hour time frame to see how I found a CRT there and how I managed to position myself and a CRT towards the higher time frame ground liquidity. So on the 4 hour, you can see we opened in the same way as yesterday. And first of all, we had this CRT candle. Price first of all took out the CRT high, and then my target for the first half of the day was for price to take out this CRT low, and then I expected an expansion from there, right? And I decided that I would take my entry on the intraday charts once this CRT low is taken, and then we're gonna reverse from there, right? You can see price came down below and almost took out the CRT low, but it struggled for the first few hours to take out the CRT. But I still expected it to be taken because of two reasons. First of all, I wanted to see a KOD or kiss of death sequence there, because we know that before a higher time frame down liquidity is reached and taken, there always a KOD on the higher time frame and lower time frame, which is basically a move into the soup in the counter direction. So I expected that there. And then another reason is that I did not see any SMT with GU and DXY at that time, which meant that this low isn't protected and it could be potentially taken. That's why I kept looking for this low to be taken before taking any entries here. I did not took any entry there, right? Then with this CRT low was taken, we had then an SMT with DXY after this CRT low was taken. And what happened is that DXY did not took out the CRT, but EU did. So that increased the probability even more, right? So based on all these factors, I decided to take an entry there once the CRT low was taken. Now remember, yesterday I decided to look for another CRT instead of looking for that CRT low to be taken, because I saw an SMT there with DXY, and that's why. But here there wasn't any SMT with DXY at that time. That's why I still expected that low to be taken on Wednesday, right? And another reason is the KOD sequence. So right here you can see that once this CRT low was taken, we had the KOD sequence, and I then started looking for an entry on the lower time frame, on the 15-minute time frame, right? Now let me give you a homework for you. It's a homework for you to tell me how did I took an entry there on the lower time frame and what were my trade protocols, right? Now you also have to show me the two different entry setups, models or styles that I've taken that I could have taken entry with, right? One is the model one entry and the other one is the turtle soup entry. You have to show me the setup for each one of them, and that is a homework for you, right? One is the model one entry and the turtle soup entry. You have to show me that. That is a homework.